Finally, we have the Paso Robles Cabernet Sauvignon, the big red monster, which looks as if you have something approximating St. George and the Dragon on the front.
Yeah, right on. It's St. George and the Dragon.
Again, you can
Slaying
imagine
the
my
dragon.
son was all over that one. So
Oh, okay. We'll send him some posters. Do we have Jamie's address, Ev?
I think it's on my
Uh,
email. I think it's on
we
that.
have some cool swag.
Oh,
And we
fantastic.
have
I'm all
found
for
that,
that.
yeah, yeah. So it's St. George slaying the dragon.
Yeah.
This is artwork from the 1800s. A really cool,
Yeah,
illustrative image. What was it, Ev?
from the 1500s.
From the 15. Okay, this is even older.
You don't have
We
to pay for any graphic designers or
Not
anything.
if it's in the public
Yeah,
domain.
exactly.
Uh,
Yeah.
and I would say we love the public domain.
Are you sure?
We we love the domain. Um, so this is a brand. It was launched in 2005,
Oh,
and the original label was a movie theater poster of a big red monster, kind of like a King Kong poster,
yeah, yeah,
and then
yeah.
it was redone to be a silk screen of an eye looking out of the bottle, which is kind of cool. But what we found was consumers that are buying a bottle of wine called the Big Red Monster are far less concerned with what vintage the grapes were grown in or the things that they're really looking for is concentration. They want it to
Yeah.
taste like it sounds. They're looking for a higher alcohol content. This is over 15, depending on the vintage. And what better region than Paso? The proclamation of Paso Robles' big extraction. um, Previous to us, it was previous to us launching, it was a California appellated. So we really
Yeah.
rooted it in Paso. We went with kind of a prestigious, silver oak ish bill die cut, and
So heavier
it
bottle too, right? It's a big. It's
it, it is. It is. It's like an 800-gram bottle. It's a non-vintage. It has always been non-vintage, but this is the first time we've kind of leaned into going non-vintage. And so depending on the bottling, I think we've put up to what, three different vintages in this before. Nicole, does that sound right?
Yeah, yep, that's correct.
and it's
So it allows a wide blending palette in terms of really hitting that big extracted characteristic. However, I would argue quite vehemently that it is very balanced, Nicole, because Paso, you can have those lower pHs, the you can have higher acidity with that big extraction. Paso, if I can tout it, Ev, is I think it's my favorite wine region. You can get huge dark fruit because it'll get over 100 degrees during the day, but then at night it can get down into the 30s, and so the vine really keeps that acidity. So you get these huge, powerful wines with juicy acidity at great value because the land's not particularly expensive. So
I
if
have
you
to
haven't tried Paso, I recommend it to your consumers.
I have to say I admire your marketing panache when it comes to this wine because you're right. It's a particular demographic who would buy a wine called the Big Red
Yeah,
Monster. Going to the language on the back label, I hadn't noticed that before. Slay it.
play it.
Just yeah, which is just
We
it's
love slogans
clever.
too.
It's
Every
very, very
brand has a
clever.
slogan.
And so this blend changes from, well, I was going to say from vintage to vintage, from batch to batch, I guess, right?
Yeah,
So
from lot to lot, but
yeah.
it's always what, at least 85% Cabernet, 75. It's always rooted. The Big Red Monster Cabernet is predominantly Cabernet,
Yes, yes.
So
with a little bit of Tannat and
yeah.
Petit Syrah in here.
Hmm.
So when you're making this wine, is this the kind of outlier from all your other wine? Because it's a, it's a
It
peculiar
is, I would
wine,
say.
right? Do you
I
have
would
fun, do
say it
you have
is.
fun making this one?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's like how big can we make it?
Yeah,
Or,
exactly.
you know.
But it is balanced, right? I mean, we're not just going for shock value, but
Yeah,
really trying to delight the customer. And it is a very particular customer that is going to buy a bottle or is going to be interested in a bottle of wine called the Big Red Monster. And then we want to over deliver on that expectation. So they say, wow, that really was a big red monster. That was delicious. Let's get that again.
I think you're trying to get that, like that. I think you're trying to get those 10-year-old boys into wine drinking because he loved that one. Absolutely loved
That was his favorite label.
Oh yeah,
Jamie-
by far. I mean, come on.
If I can go down memory lane real quick here, I have a memory of Andrew, Nicole, and myself all during COVID, and it's a windy day on the Central Coast, and we're not allowed in the blending facility, and we're outside with blenders on a foldable table, and it's windy, and we're trying to smell wine.
We're in the parking lot.
We're in the parking lot, and there's a guy pressure washing like way up high who has a mask on, just crazy times, but it's really cool to see that the hard work here has paid off, and in the LCBO and in Ontario and in Canada. This is also in South Korea and Japan. We got to promote Paso Robles and the Big Red Monster, so
Fantastic.
we are worldwide. Yeah,
This is usually the crowd pleaser too. If I'm at an event or doing a wine dinner, inevitably this is the favorite wine on the table. Have you seen that too, Nicole?
Yeah, no, I know it is. It's like people are drawn to it. And
Yeah.
At events, and you'll be pouring a lot of different SKUs, and everybody kind of just keeps gravitating towards oh, I really like this one,
Who's that monster wine?
Oh yeah.
That's
Well, I think it's like bold flavor, right? Kind of,
Yeah.
it just
Yeah.
really is, prominent and pronounced.
How much is this in the LCBO? Ev, do you remember?
I believe it's 22. Does that sound about right,
Yeah,
James?
sounds
Cool.
about right. Yeah.
Great.
And how's it doing in our market?
Great. It was just recently released, so
Yeah.
it's a little bit newer.
Excellent. Well, I have some friends who will I really love the balance in that. For it being such a huge wine. I'm normally drawn to lighter wine styles in my older age, but I do appreciate that. But I have some friends that will absolutely adore that. And again, at the price point, it's very, very good.
Cool.
I have to thank you all for spending such a long time with me at Good Food Revolution today. Hopefully we will see one of the three of you or all three of you up in Ontario at some point in the not too distant future, and we can actually share some of these wines together.
Sounds
Absolutely.
wonderful.
That'd be great.
Yeah. We
Excellent.
love the LCBO in Ontario. Thanks so much, Jamie. This was
No,
great.
thank you. That was a lot of fun. Take care, and we will see each other in the future. Bye for now.
Thank
Ciao.
you.